I never thought that we'd be living in front of the sea. I remember that night, I remember that night, laughing around the fire. I couldn't feel much better. The sunny days are back, the sunny days are back. I never saw that we'd be living in front of the sea. I remember that night, I remember that night, laughing around the fire. I couldn't feel much better. The sunny days are back, the sunny days are back. I remember that night. The sunny days are back. I remember that night. The sunny days are back. I never thought that we'd be living in front of the sea. I remember that night, I remember that night, laughing around the fire. I couldn't feel much better. The sunny days are back, the sunny days are back. I never saw that we'd be living in front of the sea. I remember that night, I remember that night, laughing around the fire. I couldn't feel much better. The sunny days are back, the sunny days are back. That night, I never saw that we'd be living in front of the sea. I remember that night, I remember that night, laughing around the fire. I couldn't feel much better. The sunny days are back, the sunny days are back. I remember that night.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger. Pushing each other to the limits, we were learning quicker. By 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Never rich, so we were out to make that steady figure. Once I was 11 years old, my daddy told me, go get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely. Once I was 11 years old. Soon we'll be 30 years old. Our songs have been sold. We've traveled around the world and we're still roaming. Soon we'll be 30 years old. I'm still learning about life. My woman brought children for me, so I can sing them all my songs and I can tell them stories. Most of my boys are with me, some are still out seeking glory, and some I had to leave behind. My brother, I'm still sorry. Soon I'll be 60 years old. started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about that glory just always seemed to bore me, 'cause only those I really love will never really know me. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told before the morning sun when life was lonely. Once I was 20 years old. Ooh, I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold? Or will I have a lot of children who can bore me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold? Or will I have a lot of children who can bore me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Once I was 7 years old, Mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old.
I promise you my innocence. When fire fills the sky, when the sun erupts in ecstasy and a fading furies die. I wanna fill your life with love, so full you wanna cry. I wanna fill your life with love, so full you wanna cry. I promise you my innocence. When fire fills the sky,